We're late to the party. We know the whole internet's been on fire. I actually scheduled this episode for today at this time instead of Thursday, which we were supposed to do. Somehow my conscience knew that Mark was going to have an issue last night and scheduled it at the time anyways before he even told us something came up. So don't know how that works. Me and Mark are linked. Weird. I want to get away from this situation. If you've ever watched any of TV Chronicles, me and Mark being linked on anything, problems. But we're here. Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 2, Through the Valley, full breakdown. Kind of a boring episode, but we'll get there and we'll discuss what happened. Mark, how was your viewing experience for this?
It's pretty good. I mean, I was very much looking forward to this episode for many reasons. But on just a non-show related note, if you do know that my brother's car is going to break down before I do, let me know that. Just be helpful.
You've known me for a good while now. I'm kind of a dick to you on most things. So even if I did know that information, I'm probably keeping it to myself. I don't know your brother, so that kind of is rude of me. But
so what I'm hearing here is that Cody made a scheduling mistake, and to cover it up, he messed with Mark's brother's car.
Instead of just adjusting the time. The world's a sphere,
That circle, if you will.
Like, not many people in this community do week to week with everybody in the community. We do week to week. We see each other every week for 2 hours plus. So tensions are high. Sometimes cars have to go. Anyways, Matt, how was your viewing experience?
It was good. I mean, I don't get to watch this till like Monday night, so the internet told me that it was a major episode. So I was kind of on high alert, and it ended up being more than a filler episode. I think a couple of things happened. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to talk about.
That should be the headline: more than a filler episode. I think you're muted.
Yep, definitely muted.
Really
we should have just let him go.
Yeah, I was saying some really rude shit. No. So some things happened. Overall, I think this is the main. We'll just pull. This is highly spoiler. If you haven't seen the show, I don't blind support. Cool.
It's Friday. I will say you should have seen it right now.
Weird if you haven't. The internet probably spoiled it for you at some point at this. Like, I don't know how you are able to coast in this world without seeing it. So your blind loyalty, I respect that, but please get the hell out of here. Watch it later. My thing is, this is something that me and Mark have been alluding to for this entire time. Matt had no clue it was coming.
I was amazed I made it that far without getting spoiled on it.
Right. Especially after season 1, because they touched up on it. It's not a very big surprise, especially after
last week's
last episode, because she does say she's going to kill him, and they do let it in. I thought there was going to be a little bit of a slower burn. What I didn't want to say last week, and I don't think what Mark wanted to say last week, is when the episode ended, we knew we were here. Like, there's not much. There's never in the game, hey, Abby and Joel and Ellie, like, hanging out and chilling and just, like, making it believe it's real. It's abrupt. It's in your face. The biggest contrast, I would say, from the show, from the game, is we do not know Abby's motivation for killing Joel in the game. So when we get that, so newsflash, Joel's dead. Just going to get that off the thing, because we'll do a deep dive into everything that comes from it. What I was thinking, just to put up the Band-Aid, Joel's dead. So when you're playing this game, the major part of the game, Last of Us season 2 is you play as Abby for half the game. But you play as Abby after she murders Joel, and you don't know why the fuck I'm playing as Abby. I remember clearly playing it and putting the controller down and being like, I'm not home. I don't care. Like, I think I ran her into hordes. Like, I ran her into, like, to die multiple times just to get revenge on the thing. So she's dead. But we were there. And I think the reason the show, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, do you think the reason that the show decided to tell us up front that, hey, Abby is doing this because her dad was the doctor inside the Firefly's place that he murdered? Which, by the way, Joel, clean up your shit. There was 2 nurses.
He killed them. None of this is an issue.
You should have capped. You were killing everybody.
Learn from The Sopranos. No witnesses.
No witness.
However, I think their main thing is that they told her that he was handsome. So they made sure to mention that he was.
They did help him out, right? So overall, do you guys believe that they said those information to get us to understand where Abby is coming from in the aspect? Because we're going to the season 2, if I have any clue, we're going to be with Abby like a little bit. I don't know how long, I don't know where it's going to go, but do you think that was why they made that big change?
So let me flip that on you. You guys got to play as Abby in the game. Did playing as Abby in the game at all make you sympathize with her character?
Yes.
At all? So whereas this is a show, so they can't do that. So I think that was kind of their way to try to at least get you somewhat.
Yeah, because you spend mission after mission, hard fought things, backstory, cinematic scenes, and then to the first one you're like, man. After the second one you're like, third one, oh, fourth one, okay. This one, like, I get it. I understand. No, Abby, not so bad. You know what? No one tells you that because at the end of the day, you just watch it roll back.
So then the show's like, okay, so we just got to let them know, like out the gate, that she's...
So the people that haven't played the game, and again, the reactions of the people that have not played the game.
Oh yeah, they still hate
TV. Must see TV. Caitlin Deaver walks across the street right now. She may get hit by. There's some.
It's like almost Joffrey levels.
There
that poor kid.
Angry individual. She's such a good actress, so that did help overall the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mark, what do you think? Do you think that was one of the major reasons why they did that?
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not 100% sure yet. I feel like I think they're kind of playing a different game here in some sense, because I do think they are somewhat aware that I feel like there was maybe this idea of them playing this out more chronological, and also they wanted us to spend more time with the actual death scene. And if we were going to see the whole death scene, she's 100% telling Joel, like, hey, you killed my dad. So I think there's a little bit of, like, they just kind of figured out, they're just kind of wondering how the best way to tell the story. And I think also on some end to this, I think it makes the writers, I think, a little bit more vindictive, because I think I kind of thought like how they did this in the show in some ways was more brutal than how they did it in the game. Because like the same stuff happens, but I would say the same stuff happens, but I feel like the way that they just leave us in this situation and they make us sit through like this monologue, and that we just kind of know that there's nothing's coming to help Joel. Joel looks completely helpless. He has no agency in that scene whatsoever. It just like we know what's going to happen, and it's just inevitable, and there's this sick feeling in your stomach the whole time. It's weird. And they do all that with Abby, and even though they give us the good reason why she kills him, there is also she also does it so brutally. We're kind of put in this weird limbo by the end of the episode.
Yeah, so we'll fully break down the overall scenes with that. But so basically, episode opens with a flashback, kind of like a
Dream sort of
dream-like
thing,
sequence. It was a mixture of both. Basically, Abby walking through post Joel going through getting Ellie out. That's basically where we're at. And she's like, "Don't go in there. Like you'll see his brain. Like he's dead." And she goes in anyways, and basically finds her dad dead. And that's where they are in the cabin. They've made it back to Jackson, and they're discussing their like her plan, like to go like search whatever. And again, there's a big storm. Like it's cold. It is cold. Winter is here. Which the correlations between this and Game of Thrones are pretty on the money. Winter has come. Tune into season whatever of TV Chronicles when we discuss the Game of Thrones.
We might even be talking about a battle on the wall today.
Yeah, exactly. Also, if this show came before Game of Thrones, maybe they'd be able to do a zombie horde episode better. Just thoughts. We'll discuss that later. But they're having a little discussion. Ellie gets woken up by the
Jesse,
and to go on patrol. And like talks about his talks about Joel, and so like, well, I'll go on patrol with Joel or whatever. He's already gone. He's with Dina. They're gone, so we'll have to just go. But she was like, this is our cycle. This is what we're always in. Like, it's just that's my person. But like, I was gonna apologize. We're gonna make it right or whatever. They're having a whole meeting. Tommy's having a whole meeting about
it's kind of like they're going over their preparations and their plans, like if there was ever an attack or something.
Yeah, so it's like very timely, just on the money. Like, hey guys, just in case some shit happens, this is what we're doing. Cool. And Abby kind of goes out on her own to like scout the area, because the rest of them Abby's the crazy one. Like Abby's the obsessed one. They're all like,
yeah, everyone else is kind of like, oh, maybe. I mean, it's been 5 years. Maybe we can move on a little bit.
Yeah, like, haven't you gonna let this one go?
I'm here because I'm a good friend. That's it. I do not want to be.
I need to convince her that it's time to go.
I made this promise 5 fucking years ago, and I kind of fucking regret it. We were in Seattle. It is fucking Wyoming, and I'm fucking freezing. All right, like
my second cousin got killed. I mean, I'm okay at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, they're all prepping, like looking around there, make sure Ellie and Jesse find a place as convenient, whatever. It's turned into a weed like it's got a bunch of weed in it, which she's pumped about. And it turns out that was Eugene was a firefly, which I think put in the back of. Again, I think every mention of fireflies or anything puts Ellie in questions of Joel, because overall situations, because
and
she
the therapist said that Joel killed Eugene, right?
Yes, that was.
And that's not in the game at all.
No,
we don't know why. Like, we don't.
Eugene died. I'll just say Eugene dies differently in the game.
I feel like they're setting us up for a flashback episode with Joel and Eugene, so we get another bit of Pedro, maybe like towards the end of the season or something.
Abby sees riders horseback too, and I think it's Joel and Dina at this point, or it might be Ellie.
We don't know who it is.
Well,
yeah, they don't determine, but like it's my only correlation, it has to be the other two because they're closer.
Yeah,
she gets stuck. She ends up sliding down into like this pit, like this down area, lake kind of thing or whatever it was, but all bunch of dead bodies are laying there, and there's some clickers, there's a lot of things. She ends up like walking out of that. They start moving, and they start breaking out, and they start running, and they are alive and well and hungry, and that's when they come crashing towards Ellie. Abby gets behind the like fence. I think one of the coolest like shots overall is like these guys, like how the fence gets so tight down and it gets so claustrophobic, and the one breaks through and they're crawling through. And then Joel
Deus Ex Joel just pops up.
Yeah, pops out right and goes, "Can you run? Run!" Shoots him. Blah blah blah. So they off and go, which I think is cool. So overall, not to like jump future seasons ahead, but when we talked about my biggest problem with season 8 of Game of Thrones was the long night and how bad that zombie thing was. It was built up for 8 seasons at that point. You can't see fucking dick, which I get it. It's night, but shit. Put something up. I don't know. Put fire. I don't care anything.
It didn't have to be natural light. We'll just say that. They could have put up some studio lights.
It's like Les Mis when they sing live on set. It was shit. I don't know what the other shit would be. Whatever the case. They end up doing that. And so overall, I think when they wake up and start tracing after, I think it's one of the coolest shots in the show.
Yeah.
What did you guys take from overall Abby's curiosity almost killed the cat, where she just got too overzealous? I think it was really shot cool how they're all like in the thing and started moving. I think they're just creature design in the show is like excellent. I think it just looks great. What were your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I thought the sequence of the fence was amazing. I thought that was one of the best parts of the episode. And so can the fungus like stop bodies from like freezing and becoming immobile?
I think it's from the first episode. It's like body temperatures at a certain level or whatever. I think they keep them like.
Oh, okay.
I think it keeps a higher body temperature but like doesn't like. It's like their life source, like those fibers or whatever it is. They don't do a great job. Science of it,
but it's cool. It looks cool, so we'll let it slide.
I mean, I remember them saying something, but like I could not intelligibly tell you like it shouldn't have happened. But whatever. It equaled to something really cool. So I don't think really care. Yeah. I think. The sequence of the fence was really cool. I also like how they just kind of portray Abby in this. I kind of liked how they are very much portraying her as like the unhinged person of the group, how nobody really wants to be there. And much like the game, this was kind of nearing the end. She was about to get into the phase of, okay, now I'm alone trying to find Joel because nobody else is going to be around here to help me anymore. Because they don't want to, take on a town with me for some reason. I don't know why.
Does Joel save her in the game like that too?
Yes, it is pretty much.
It's a shot. It basically wouldn't say shot for shot, but it's yes.
I would say all the stuff that happens like with Joel and Abby, all that is pretty close to the game, except Tommy was with him and not Dina.
Oh, okay.
Like other than that, it's pretty much the same as the game.
Yeah. So Joel and them go into a basic like warehouse saying lock the door. Abby is laying on the ground, he's like rest or whatever, and Dina says Joel. And Abby perks up. What's the fucking chances that you just walked right into of all the gin joints in all the towns you walk into mine? 2 people on patrol. It's Joel. She finds Joel. So she overhears Joel's name there. Like, we got to go. We got to get back to town. Like, we have to rush back. And she's like, no, I have a cabin up at my friends are there. We have ammo. We have everything. We can come right back. So they agree. Horde breaks out. Horde breaks in. Horses get out. They're all running out as the snow continues to fall pretty deep. Tommy is notified that Joel is not Joel. Ellie and
no one's answering.
Jesse are responding. Like they've heard, but they haven't heard from. She goes, he's like every 10 minutes, get it like talk to like always call, like
Mm-hmm.
try to find them as best you can. As they are racing back the horses or whatever, and the guy cuts into the like.
He's messing around with the pipes still, yeah.
There's a moment with the pipes, and then he notices
Little
the
tentacles.
piper,
Yeah.
and then
You know, the town is fucked at that point.
the town is fucked. The lives they're there, so then they all get into thing because they see the horde coming.
It's amazing. It's an amazing scene though, where the horde is chasing, and then you have another horde starts coming down the hill. It was like something out of Two Towers at the end there, and then they all just start turning around.
Their creativity on this, like to make sure it's 100% foolproof, was just next level. They had everybody on the roofs. They had all the fire things laid out, ready to roll. They had the guys with the blow torches, all of them running out like Battle of the Bastards, kind of like cinematic. I want to know how much this episode like overall cost. I think it's got to be up there in like the price point, because they just had everybody on everything. And then they got the big one of the big bastards as a part of the group. So like
maybe they could have reinforced that log wall just a little bit more.
I did love when they like poured the gas and then started shooting them, and then the fire like spoke up and just started burning them. And then Tommy makes the realization at one point that they all start running separate. They all run. All the horde runs opposite directions. So Tommy gets out to look like what's happening, and he realizes they're going to breach. Like the one thing is they're going to breach. So he ends up taking onto a flamethrower. His wife is up in the top with this sniper rifle, and that big fucking bastard breaks down the guard for him, and they are inside Jackson. They are taken, so they're all shooting. And these are some smart fucking zombies, because at some point they just turn to the fucking stores, get in, and meet them on the rooftop. They got all like the women and children down in the basements or whatever, trying to keep them safe, and they're shooting. I still love the thing that there's 4 flamethrower guys and there's people shooting directly at them. I was like, this could not end bad at all. Which especially 2 of the guys just completely run. Like to starve, like, hey, we're all lined up.
So if you guys are Tommy, the next day, what's happening to those 2 flamethrower guys that ran away?
hung in the street, no question. His wife, I think it's also one of those really cool things. What are the big ones called? They're not
bloaters.
Bloaters,
yeah.
Got some attention of all the people. I don't want to be the person to say this. Kind of a racist bloater. I just want that on the thing. There's a lot of people shooting. Goes right for Tommy's wife. Fucked up shit. Just want that on the record. Again, I don't know what the bloater was in a past life, but piece of shit. Tommy draws his attention to fucking with a pistol, like, hey, fucker, come here. Let me hit you. And that big thing, why? And again, I still don't understand how the people on the top of the roofs fucking live. Like, you can explain it to me all day long. I think there's some plot holes that I have discovered in.
Like, how many infected do you think attacked that thing?
A lot.
That was at least 1,000, maybe.
And 24 German shepherds were the saving grace. Whatever. We'll get to that in a second. But Tommy gets put in a fucking hole in the back of the wall because he's got big fucking bloater stuck in the hole. He can't get out.
Dead end, yeah.
Yeah, dead end, just sitting there, and he's just gonna flame him to death. Which I've never been more scared in my life. Like this is the worst case. Like, and he doesn't like the fire that much, but he looks like he's fighting it off at some point. He gets closer, and you just see that gauge ticking down. Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you, he didn't waste enough of that, because just enough was left to make the bloater's body completely shut down, and he dies, which is like fucking freaky overall. So he lays there dead. But they release the hounds. Jackson's on fire because the one guy falls and burns down the thing, and they're basically going to end up surviving from Jackson. Some of the people are
somehow,
somehow they survive. Again, we can say good plan overall.
It worked.
They had some casualties, but overall they did get everybody done. Friends and family, not friends, friends and family. Abby's friends are yelling for Abby, like Abby. They end up, Joel and them see Jackson on fire and say, I'm gonna go back. Abby's like, no, it's right up the road. Like she does that moment. How do I get Joel back here? And ends up getting him up there, and that's where the major scene takes place. So overall, let's talk about the Horde. That whole scene, all the actions. What do you guys overall think about that?
I mean, I thought it was a fantastic battle. I thought it was great. I always get a little bit worried when you're like lighting infected or zombies on fire so they can just go up against your wooden wall. But I guess it seemed to have worked out okay. But
I mean, you gotta do something. There's like there's like 1,000 of them down there. At this point, it doesn't matter if everything's staying up. We gotta do something. Anything that's gonna get these things out of here. Yeah, it was fantastic. I love that, and especially we get it episode 2 just right out the gate, which makes me kind of dubious on how much infected stuff we're gonna get probably down the line.
They probably just killed all of them in this area.
They probably used a lot of budget.
So
maybe a couple here and there, but I don't believe a lot are coming anytime soon.
Yeah, a little dubious about that, but yeah, I was shocked at least by how much we were doing just right off the bat. I thought all of that was really cool. I also liked how there was a little bit of, I think, game canon at least in this, because I'm trying to remember what difficulty it was. I want to say it was like around the hard difficulty, is if it basically took like a full pack of flamethrower to kill a bloater. So like that was actually, at least on point for the game. That made me chuckle a little bit. And
so if you guys said Tommy was with Joel, does this happen in the game? The whole community getting attacked?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay, so that's a nice addition.
God, if that happened in the game, I'm never playing. I'm having a mental breakdown.
Like that too. That's just because like it didn't happen. That shocked me. And then after I paused the end of it, saw 20 minutes left. Wow, we're gonna get this and the Joel and Abby stuff in the same episode. Legendary.
Wow.
Yeah, so they get back. So yeah, great episode. So now the big scene, they get into the thing. Joel and them and Dina are getting introduced to the group. And she said, and he keeps calling back to Jackson. He's turned around and Abby drops the line, and this is Joel. The facial acting of all these actors in this scene do exactly what they need to portray. The person that she's been psychopath, like hunting in her mind for 5 years is standing in the same room as the people that they said. And then he tells her they put the guns on him. They put a gun to Dina's head and they say, "Hey, put her asleep." I don't know. No, put her asleep or I'll bash her in the fucking head. Hold on. Somebody take over while I do some multiplex melee stuff.
Like I said, they pretty much they put her to sleep, and some of the quickest acting thing to put somebody to sleep I've seen in a while because she's out instantly. And then that's pretty much Abby's got a little shotgun gift for Joel. Takes his knee out. Bandage that.
Bandage that tourniquet. Just
tourniquet
on it. But basically, who do you think we are? Military? Nah. Fireflies used to be. Not anymore. But I will say,
saw the Fireflies.
Yeah, and you sure are handsome. Like, and it's like we'll save your life. What life? And she shoots him directly in the knee. Tourniquet keeps him alive, and basically she's going to keep him alive to do what she overall wishes. I think right now, again, there's a lot of moments that we can discuss from a lot of TV show. I tell everybody this: I don't watch TV. These two are basically the two professors getting me involved in TV. I will say sometimes I'd rather now watch television than some movies. Not saying I'm outside movie. I just I have a lot to catch up on television. Overall, to peek behind the curtain, we're doing season 3 finales of The Shield, Sopranos, and then right after this. This was a great week of television for me, so I had a really good time all around. But this monologue that Abby delivers to Joel while he is saying nothing is some of the best acting I've seen in a really long time. 18 soldiers, 1 doctor. Did you? The nurse told me exactly. Unarmed man right to the head. Like, didn't even look at him. Didn't even think about it. Just put it right through. They do that flashback to show the scene of him shooting his thing. And you just like, and she drops the news, that was my dad. And at that point in time, yes, you've been with Joel this entire ride. You've started the basically infected war with Joel, so you feel like you know him at this point. But I think rational people, all 3 of us at this point, and again, like we said in the game, we don't know this information. So, but now on this information, I understand why Abby feels the way Abby does and wants to do this situation. Because roles reversed, Joel do the same. Joel would do the exact same, probably worse.
He already did.
True.
I mean,
Can't we at least give him a couple of points for like saving her life, though?
Yeah.
I guess maybe she hadn't been stewing on it for 5 years.
Yeah. And then she says that line. She's like, the nurses said you barely looked at him. You barely looked at him. But I looked at him. I did. She was 19 when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is freshly in her brain that she was away or they were doing something else while he decided to go on this rampage. Again, I think everybody's anger should be a little pointed at the woman, too, to let Joel walk separately with anybody without shot in the head. He shouldn't have been good. And he's like, she tells him the story about going to Seattle. Too bad you're not. I'll tell you about it because you won't be able to get out there. But they said we only kill people that are of use, like that have no use left. And right now you're not going to have, like, that's going to be you soon. Like, basically, she's going to kill him. And she's like, she does say, I'm going to kill you. And then Joel basically has a little bit of a lash moment or whatever. Because she said the code that she was taught doesn't matter at this point for you lawless piece of shit. Like, just, you don't deserve there's no code for you at this point. Because this is what needs to happen. And Joel gets pretty adamant that if you're going to do it, just fucking do it already.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically says, you're not going to speed this up. Like, this isn't under your timeline. And looks back at the golf clubs. Now, in the game, those golf clubs, she beats the shit out of Joel. Okay, beats him with the golf club in the knee. Add the shotgun wound, just basically wounds him and beats him to death. The golf club is the finishing maneuver in the game for Joel.
Mm-hmm.
4 right to the skull.
Well, here she beats him enough with it that she breaks the club.
Right. So there is that moment. Which one's worse? Not really sure. But Ellie finds out that Joel is not bad. Well, Joel's not returned, so she goes on a mission to find
Joel. Dana, yeah.
Yeah. She slowly finds around the house. She walks in. She slowly creeps in, walks in with the gun. While he's beat, and Joel's getting the shit beat out of him still by Abby, where her hands are completely bruised at this point. Walks in, pulls the gun because she sees Joel. She goes to pull it. They end up stopping her. She ends up slicing the one guy's hands, and she is laying on the ground. Joel's laying on the ground. She's laying on the ground. Joel, get up. Just get up. Like, you can do this. Like, get up. And then the guy, second in command, I don't really know I don't remember his name, but Abby's right-hand man or whatever, tells him to end it. Like, end it now. Like, they're going to be coming.
It's been enough.
She's been here. They're going to send more. Like, go. And he's trying to get up. Like, you can see him trying to motion. She ends up grabbing the broken golf club and ends up putting it in Abby's neck, or Joel's neck, killing Joel. Joel is now dead. The guy that got his hand sliced kicks Ellie in the rib while she screams, "I'm going to fucking kill you all." And Joel is dead, left. And then while they're leaving, while there's this emotional break, while she with Joel's bloody face and him crying at him, they end up walking out. Abby does not look very
satisfied
even at this point, but she's like I guess it hasn't really set in. We see a way like leaving, walking in, we see a horse coming up the thing, and I think that's Jesse at that point.
Yeah.
Not Tommy, Jesse.
Jesse, yeah.
Because Tommy's still back in the place, and they're
a little busy.
They're checking up people. The guy like shows that he's gotten bit or whatever, and you just know what. Yeah, it's just like, but there's bodies for days. They're all injured, and then it ends with the horses riding off and them pulling the body behind, and that is episode 2 of The Last. We have 5 more episodes of The Last. Again, I think it's an automatic. Like, I think it's one of the best episodes of television I've seen in a while. If I just break that section down, probably one of the best I've seen in a really long time.
That whole sequence is just amazing. I mean, I'm happy at least that Joel got to see that Ellie still like cared about him really at the end. And just when she's yelling at him to get up and you see him just trying his hardest to get up for her, it's like, oh, that was the toughest part of that for me.
I kind of said my piece about this already. It was fucking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of glad to see how. I know at least whenever we were talking through season 1, bit of me was a little bit on the maybe they're doing stuff like it's a little bit too close to the game. I was really glad, just in the sense that this particular aspect of it kind of got some flack from the gaming community. I am really glad overall they did it. I am glad how faithful it was, just because like it is just such a great moment in the game, especially like how it just happens. Because as I think I kind of mentioned this about last week, where last episode was kind of, this is all stuff that kind of happens later in the game because it's a bit told out of chronological order. Everything that happens like in this first bit is basically the very beginning. Joel like gets taken out like within basically the first hour of playing. It's the initiating moment, and it feels like they really nailed it. And there was at least also doubts at least about Dever playing Abby. She just looks unhinged in this, and how she just controls the room, and everybody's just afraid of her in that instance. It's great.
Because you gotta also see, like, when we're playing this, like, we played The Last of Us. There was a break. They came out with a new one. We're like, fuck yeah, Joel, Ellie, back at it again. Let's go. And we play, and an hour in, they fucking kill Joel, and we're like, the fuck? No, what? Because that one originally, I think, came out on PlayStation 3. This one came out on PlayStation 4, I believe. So there was even a break like in between. It was just a wild situation. They're doing such a good job with this. I can't wait for more. I just think we all should maybe just lower our expectations a little bit for the next episode. Because
I was going to say, you guys have somewhat of an idea of the story going forward. Do you think there'll be an episode this season that can top this?
No. Nope. Not this season. Next season, yes. This season. They put the horde. They put a horde.
Unless they just put something brand new that's not even in the game.
And killing Joel in the same episode. I think it's going to be very hard. And they executed them both as well as you could.
Yeah.
I feel like because of how they have to cut up the story.
Right.
I have a hard time seeing there being a better episode this season.
I think they'll be good at it, but I don't know if this one exceeded my expectations by a lot. was going to be
I
hard.
hesitate even to make that call just because like the first 2 episodes have been excellent. So
And
like
technically, probably the best episode of the first season was something that isn't even really in the games. So
Yes.
who knows?
Okay. So we will be back next week. We did it Friday. We will be back on our normal schedule Thursday, unless our car breaks down. And
We'll let you know.
next week, next Thursday, will be our first episode of Sopranos, Mad Men, and The Shield going at live. So join us for that because it won't be a live show, but we recap. So watch the first 3 episodes. I think it's the 3 episodes. I think we're only 3 episodes for the first week. Either way.
We'll probably put it in the description of the
Yes,
episode.
go watch that because we enjoyed doing it. Go watch those shows if you never watched them. I can highly recommend all 3 right now. Way better than Oz, so enjoy that. But we will be back for next week. So have a good one. See you next week.